Welcome back, everyone, on part 2 of Nano Shinobi, The Rise of the Heavenly Demon. But before we jump into the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts.
Chapter 4. The Foundation Must Be Broken. Midnight in Konoha was different than in Yeo-Woon's past life. In the demonic cult, midnight meant assassination attempts, poisonings, and backroom alliances forged in blood. In Konoha, it was stillness, children dreaming, Anbu patrols watching, civilians believing themselves safe under the Hokage's care. It was a false peace. And false peace was the first lie Cheon Yeo-Woon would dismantle. Underground chamber, temple of the demon path. 9 initiates now sat in silent meditation, arranged in a circle around the glowing key array. Their bodies trembled with effort, meridians struggling to contain the flow. Kenta stood guard at the entrance, now visibly changed. His posture was straighter, his aura calmer. Even his chakra signature had shifted slightly deeper, more focused. Cheon Yeo-Woon observed them all like a silent god. Each one had been carefully chosen from the Academy's forgotten files. Rejected, abandoned, hungry for power. Exactly the type who would once have flocked to the cult of the heavenly demon in his previous life. This time, however, they would not be trained as expendable pawns. They would be refined as instruments. Nano report on neural assimilation progress in all 9 initiates.
72% synchronization achieved. 3. Show aptitude for martial enhancement. 2. For spiritual refinement. 1. Anomaly detected. Yeo-Woon's eyes narrowed. Anomaly. A file appeared in his Hujenin. Mizuno Ren, age 12. Chakra control, erratic, yet key circulation, instinctive, subconscious activation of internal channels, outside taught form, interesting. He knelt beside the trembling boy, placing a palm on his back. Ren flinched, but did not pull away. Yeo-Woon closed his eyes, sending a thin stream of ki inward. He traced the boy's meridians and heart channels. Nano confirm. This child was born with natural ki affinity, confirmed. Possible result of bloodline trait. No known Konoha lineage matches. So even this world had latent cultivation. Perhaps this was fate. You will become the first inner disciple, he said. Ren's eyes widened. Emi. Your blood carries memory, Yeo-Woon said calmly. I will unlock it. Konoha Hokage office. Shinobi exhaled a cloud of pipe smoke, staring at the sealed scroll on his desk. The one containing the scroll of forbidden seals. There has been strange activity near the old temples, he said quietly. Genin, wandering off at night. Irika's reports are troubling. Beside him stood Jiraiya, arms crossed, face serious for once. You think it's related to Naruto? I'm not certain, but Kakashi believes something has changed inside him. Jiraiya's brow furrowed. Let me investigate, he said, quietly. I'll track the kid's movements. Shinobi hesitated, then nodded, ... But if you find something, bring him back, alive. Meanwhile, hidden cult base. Ren's scream echoed in the underground chamber. His body shook violently as ki flooded his limbs. Black veins bulged at his temples. Blood leaked from his nose. The other initiates watched, horrified yet fascinated. Cheon Yeo-Woon did not flinch. This was necessary. Nano stabilized neural feedback, override pain receptors for 4 seconds. Executing. Ren gasped, body suddenly still. Then his eyes snapped open, glowing faint gold. Yeo-Woon smiled faintly. You've survived the first threshold. Ren collapsed to his knees, gasping. I saw things, mountains, swords, voices in my blood. You saw memory, Yeo-Woon said, not yours, but your ancestors. Your body remembers what your clan has forgotten. He stood and looked around. Kneel, he ordered. The 9 bowed immediately. From this night forward, you are no longer mere shinobi. You are outer disciples of the heavenly demon cult. He placed a hand on Ren's head, and you are the beginning of its inner flame. Training Ground 3. The next day, Team 7 trained under Kakashi's supervision, running through basic combination maneuvers. Naruto, or rather Yeo-Woon, moved with minimal effort. Sasuke noticed again those movements, that posture. Naruto never dodged the way he did now. He glided around attacks, redirected strikes with perfect palm control. No wasted energy. It was like fighting someone trained in a completely alien martial philosophy. Kakashi interrupted the match. All right, take 5. Sasuke walked over to Yeo-Woon. What are you hiding? Yeo-Woon looked at him, calm as still water. You're not ready. Don't act like you're above me, Sasuke hissed. You think you're the only one who's suffered. I don't think, Yeo-Woon said. I know. Sasuke's Sharingan flared. Then show me. But before he could attack, Kakashi stepped between them. That's enough. He looked at Naruto, then at Sasuke. Next week, we have a C-rank mission. Save your strength. That night, forest, outside the village. Jiraiya crouched in the trees, observing the ruins of an old temple. There were traces, disturbed chakra flow, footprints, even faint ki pulses, though he didn't recognize them. He scribbled in a notebook. Subject, Naruto Uzumaki. Observation suggests underground gatherings, late-night chakra, anomalies, unrecorded movements by multiple genin. His eyes narrowed, and then he saw it. A flicker barely visible of a cloaked figure entering a camouflaged tunnel under a collapsed statue. Jiraiya cursed under his breath. Kid, what are you involved in? Underground cult sanctum. The outer disciples knelt again, now wearing black sashes across their left arms, the symbol of initiation. Yeo-Woon stood before them. The shinobi world is broken. A hierarchy built on deception. Clans hoard secrets. Villages breed war. Even the so-called Hokage smiles as the poor are thrown to the wolves. He raised a fist. We will break this world and forge a new one. The disciples chanted, All hail the heavenly demon. Above them, hidden behind the rocky ceiling, Jiraiya watched through a spy toad, breath caught in his throat. He saw Naruto standing at the center. Cold, radiant, commanding. That's not the kid I trained to prank teachers. He slipped away. He had seen enough. Next morning, Hokage Tower. Jiraiya stormed into the office. Scrolls in hand, Sarutobi looked up. Well, Jiraiya threw the scroll on the desk. I don't know who that is, but he's not just Naruto anymore.
End of chapter 4. Let's take a quick break. Oh, and hey, have you checked out our other What If stories yet? They're packed with wild twists you won't see coming. For example, this story, What If Naruto is immortal on the Shinobi world? Let's continue with the story.
Chapter 5. A Storm Beneath the Leaves. The morning sun crept over the Hokage monument, casting long shadows down across the village, but beneath the sunlight, the storm was building. The kind of storm that began, not with thunder, but with silence. Hokage Tower, private chamber. Sarutobi's expression darkened as he read through Jiraiya's report. Multiple genin, meeting in secrecy. Energy signatures, unknown to chakra classification. A developing cult. He looked up at his old student. You're sure it's Naruto? I saw him, sensei, Jiraiya said grimly. Not some shadow clone, not a genjutsu him, leading them, teaching them, calling himself the heavenly demon. Sarutobi exhaled slowly, and the others, kids from the lower ranks, academy dropouts, orphans, discards. He's building something from the bottom. Sarutobi rose and walked to the window, gazing over the rooftops. Then it's worse than I thought. Meanwhile, cult sanctum, underground. You're sure it's Naruto? I saw him, sensei, Jiraiya said grimly. Not some shadow clone, not a genjutsu him, leading them, teaching them, calling himself the heavenly demon. Sarutobi exhaled slowly, and the others, kids from the lower ranks, academy dropouts, orphans, discards. He's building something from the bottom. Sarutobi rose and walked to the window, gazing over the rooftops. Then it's worse than I thought. Meanwhile, cult sanctum, underground. The 10 disciples stood still as stone, dressed in new robes, black with red trims, high collars, fitted for stealth and mobility. Each bore the same mark on their backs, and archaic character etched in silver. More, Mot, demon, Ren. Now, the inner disciple, stepped forward and bowed. We await your orders, cult master. Yeo-Woon stood before them with a scroll in hand, a chart showing chakra points and meridian paths, annotated with key conversion formulas translated by the Nano Machine into local terminology. Nano, confirmed chakratuki overlay compatibility in average genin tier, 84% effective conversion via spiral core redirection, with enhanced results in those with spiritual bloodline traits. Good enough. Tonight, Yeo-Woon said, you will begin field trials. You will infiltrate the training grounds and observe. Other genin teams, do not engage. Do not reveal yourselves. Kenta raised a hand, respectfully. May I ask, why only observe? Because knowledge is power, and in this world, power is hoarded. We will study our enemies first, then we will replace them. He turned to Ren. You will lead this trial. Ren nodded. Yes, master. Uchiha, compound, late afternoon. Sasuke trained alone, the dummy before him shredded from repeated fire-style attacks. But it wasn't enough. Not anymore. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Naruto. Calm, silent, superior. He clenched his fists. No, he threw another fireball, then another. The heat scorched the trees, but not the void inside him. If he's hiding something, he turned toward the gate. I'll find out myself. Evening training ground 17. Team 10 was wrapping up their exercise. Shikamaru yawned. Ino chattered. Choji munched on chips. None of them noticed the faint shimmer in the trees. Ren crouched in perfect silence, 3 disciples beside him, masked and hidden. The technique was a blend of ki suppression and rudimentary chakra cloaking, a hybrid form Yeo-Woon was developing, unknown to Konoha's system. He whispered to his group. Note: Subject Ino shows limited awareness in the field. Subject Shikamaru, high IQ but lazy discipline. Choji, high endurance, low mobility. They took silent notes, then vanished. Hokage Tower, War Room. Kakashi stood before Sarutobi and Jiraiya, arms crossed. You want me to confront Naruto directly? Sarutobi nodded slowly. Not as an enemy, but you must confirm what he is. Kakashi lowered his head. He's different. Not just his movements, his mind. There's no trace of the boy I knew. He's leading children into secrecy, into a cult. If we do nothing, we risk another route or worse. Jiraiya stepped forward. We can't afford to repeat the Danzo mistake. Kakashi didn't reply. He just nodded once. Hidden forest, shrine, deep night. Ren returned to the chamber, bowing low. All 3 teams observed, data recorded, no detection. Yeo-Woon took the scroll and reviewed the intel. Acceptable, you will continue tomorrow. He waved a hand, and the disciples bowed again before retreating into their sleeping quarters. Kenta remained behind. You're preparing for something, aren't you? He asked. Yeo-Woon didn't answer at first. Then, He turned his gaze toward the faintly glowing key formation in the chamber's center. Tell me, Kenta, what do you know of the Sage of Six Paths? Kenta blinked. Only the stories. The one who created ninjutsu with the Rinnegan lies. Yeo-Woon walked toward the scrolls pinned to the wall, diagrams, translations, energy analysis created by the Nano Machine. He did not create power. He rediscovered it. Before chakra, there was ki. Before jutsu, there was technique refined through pain, not hand signs. And before Hokage, there were emperors. He turned, eyes glowing faintly. I will restore that age, and you will help me tear down the veil of this false peace. Elsewhere, root facility, abandoned. Danzo Shimura stood alone among the shattered remnants of his former base. The shadows whispered. He had been monitoring strange energy movements. Not chakra, something older, cruder, purer. He touched the hidden compartment beneath the floor. A scroll pulsed faintly with foreign energy. Not chakra, he muttered, but power, nonetheless. He would wait, watch, and perhaps use this new player for his own goals. Training Ground 3 the next morning. Team 7 gathered again. Naruto stood at attention, face calm. Sakura waved meekly. Good morning, Naruto. He nodded, but said nothing. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Something's wrong. He's too calm, too composed. All right, Kakashi said. Today's exercise is not combat. He pulled out 3 slips of paper. Today, we're testing chakra nature. Sakura's eyes lit up. Oh, elemental affinity testing. Kakashi handed Naruto his paper. Yeo-Woon glanced at it. Nano. Simulate chakra pulse through paper. Executing. The paper crumbled on, then burned. Both effects at once. Kakashi's visible eye widened. Dual affinity, wind and fire. Naruto looked at him, voice low. There is more than one path to power. Kakashi stared. That voice wasn't Naruto's. Not fully. Something deeper, older. He smiled faintly. I see. End of chapter 5. Chapter 6. Shadows cast, no doubt. In the shinobi world, wars did not start with declarations. They began in whispers, in the silent flick of a kunai, in names spoken behind closed doors. And tonight, in Konoha, the war began, not with chakra but with Ki Uchiha compound, nightfall. Sasuke sat cross-legged beneath the full moon, candlelight dancing over the blade in his lap. Kakashi's words echoed in his mind. Naruto is changing. Don't confront him yet. But Sasuke couldn't wait. Every day Naruto moved farther beyond his reach. Stronger, colder, alien. Even the Sharingan couldn't trace his movements now. I won't be left behind, Sasuke whispered, gripping the hilt tightly. He had followed Naruto once, already disguised, suppressed his chakra. He had seen the strange symbols on the underground walls, heard words like cult, ki, and demon path. He didn't understand them, but he understood one thing. Naruto wasn't just getting stronger. He was becoming something else. Underground sanctum, secret cult temple. Yeo-Woon stood at the altar, robed in deeper black, now embroidered with crimson patterns drawn from the heavenly demon cult's ancient design. Before him knelt his 10 disciples. The atmosphere was dense with cultivated ki. Candles did not flicker, they bent toward him. You are ready for your first trial. Ren stepped forward, face calm. We await the cult master's command. Yeo-Woon unrolled a map of Konoha, marking a location with red ink. Storage facility 3B. Tonight, you will infiltrate this chakra storage site. Retrieve the scroll marked Refined Sealing Matrix, Series Beta. Avoid combat. Eliminate witnesses only if unavoidable. Kenta frowned. Won't the ANBU be watching? Yeo-Woon nodded. Which is why this mission is not for glory. It is for proof. He walked down the steps, cloak trailing behind him. If we are to stand against this world, we must learn the value of action taken from the shadows. Elsewhere, Kakashi's apartment. Kakashi sat at his table, reviewing Naruto's chakra test results. Dual nature, balanced control, reflexes, years ahead of his peers. It wasn't just training. He flipped to the last page, a handwritten note from Jiraiya. I believe something has replaced him, more merged with him. He sighed. You were always the unpredictable one, Naruto, but this. He snapped the folder shut and grabbed his mask. Tonight, he would find answers himself. Sector 3B, Chakra, Archive Facility. 2 Chunin guards paced casually around the law security compound, unaware of the movement in the trees. Above them, the shadows moved with impossible silence. Ren landed behind one, fingers glowing faintly with concentrated ki. A precise strike to the base of the Nekno chakra. No noise. The guard slumped. The second turned, mouth opening to shout, before Kenta appeared and pressed 2 fingers to his chest. A single pulse of ki stopped the heart instantly. Within 60 seconds, both guards were down. No alarms. Ren motioned forward. Move. The disciples infiltrated the compound, bypassing chakra traps, using pulse-jamming scrolls modified by the Nano Machine. Inside, they found the scroll deep green, bearing the mark of the Uzumaki sealing arts. Ren secured it. Extraction, route north wall. But before they could leave, a distant whistle pierced the air. Kenta's eyes widened. Falcon's signal were compromised. Outside rooftops nearby, Kakashi watched from a distant vantage point. Sharingan activated. He had seen them move, silent, too organized for kids. He whispered, "That's not Naruto leading students. That's a general leading warriors." Then he moved. Back in the facility, Ren burst through the north wall, scroll in hand. 3 disciples flanked him, but a shadow dropped before them, mid-lep, white hair, one eye. Kakashi took, going somewhere, he asked, voice calm. Ren skidded to a halt. Fall back, Kakashi, blurred forward. In an instant, one disciple went flying into a wall unconscious. Kenta blocked a strike with his palm, but Kakashi's follow-up knee cracked his ribcage. Then the Kapanin faced Ren. You're not ordinary, Shinobi. That movement, those pressure points. Ren gritted his teeth. You'll regret this. His body surged with ki, limbs hardening. Nano release limiters, full strike form, iron palm. He lunged at Kakashi, hand glowing red hot, but Kakashi was faster. With a twist of his wrist, he redirected the strike, then planted a palm on Ren's chest. Lightning style, paralysis touch. Ren convulsed and dropped. Only one disciple escaped injured, but carrying the scroll. Kakashi looked down at Ren, unconscious. What are you, Naruto? Underground cult sanctum. Later that night, Yeo-Woon stood over the wounded Kenta, now bandaged and unconscious. Only one disciple returned. The mission had failed, but the loss had value. He turned to the survivor. You did well. You followed the core doctrine. Protect the artifact over the self. The disciple bowed low. I will return for the others. Yeo-Woon turned away. No, we do not waste effort on failed missions. Their fate is now theirs. He paused, then looked toward the glowing mural etched into the wallen ancient figure, seated on a throne of blood and stone. The heavenly demon ascends not by mourning loss, but by refining it into power. Anbu headquarters, interrogation cell. Sarutobi stood outside the reinforced chamber, arms behind his back. Inside sat Ren, eyes closed, hands bound. Kakashi stood beside him. No matter how we push him, he says nothing. No fear, not even pain seems to reach him. Sarutobi stared through the glass. Conditioning, indoctrination. He turned away. We need to dig deeper. Jiraiya is tracing chakra relics across the fire country. Maybe this is older than we thought. Kakashi remained silent. In the cell, Ren opened his eyes for a moment and smiled. End of chapter 6.
To be continued. If you enjoyed this What If episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a twist in the story. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or ideas for the next scenario. We might feature yours in the next episode.